it from being run. Windows default stance is if you try to install anything on Windows, it will just pop up a message saying, do you want to install this? Even Microsoft products, it'll say, do you want to install this? And you can tell it to stop bugging you with that. It is kind of annoying that it will... What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm like jamming on the dodge button and it's just letting me get hit in the back. Yeah, fuck parry. I hate parry. Especially when attacks can come from off screen. How the fuck am I supposed to know that I'm supposed to parry? Not spawning things unfairly? Really? Because a couple of times now, the game has spawned guys like behind me, and then shown me that there are guys behind me, but then they're like, when I go to turn around to fight those guys that are behind me, there were also more dudes who spawned behind trees in front of me, who don't show up until I turn around. And then they're off camera, and then I get hit with an axe that is off camera. That seems kind of unfair to me. Yeah, the Vista UAC was really bad. The fact that you had to use group policy in order to disable UAC in Vista was really rough. And I mean to completely disable it. Like, you could get it most of the way disabled, but to get it completely to the point that Windows 7's is when you set it to like don't alert me for anything, you had to use group policy, which your average home user will not have any clue what the fuck group policy is. Hell, your average desktop technician won't know what the fuck group policy is. Yeah, group policy is great, and I wish that everything else had something that was as full-featured as group policy. I honestly believe that from a desktop infrastructure architectural perspective, that is the #1 reason why Linux and not sort of Linux, but definitely Macs are held back from being contenders for Windows in a workstation environment. What do you think group policy is, Champ? I can tell you really easily how to figure out exactly what group policy is if you would like, Champ. Nope. Nope. That is a local security policy. Group policy is it's essentially like a layer over top of the Windows registry that provides a bunch of it uses a set of XMLs to provide effectively like a list of configuration settings for the computer, and then also how the computer permits applications on it to act, and then also how the computer interacts with the domain and other computers on the network. It provides you a list of like all of the settings, and then descriptions of all the settings, and then all of the possible ways that those settings can be configured. And it's layered over top of the registry, so in effect, it's actually just changing values in your system registry, but it's essentially like if you've ever looked at the registry is just a bunch of variable strings with values, 1, 2, 10, whatever the variable type is. This, on the other hand, is like, you'll have one that says provide a message to users when they go to log in at the beginning of a workstation session. And then if you double click it, it'll say by default not set. You can say enabled, and then it'll have a little text box saying that you want what, to say what you want it to show as a prompt every time somebody tries to log into the machine. If you want to see what group policy is, Champ, probably the easiest way for you to learn, though I highly recommend that you don't touch anything, because the first time I actually worked with group policy and I went in and started tinkering around, I actually had to reinstall my OS because I just fucked up way too many things. Go to Start and then type gpedit 32 dot, is it gpedit 32.exe? I think it's exe. It's been so long since I did this from like a local machine. Because in a domain setting, you use the Group Policy Management Console, GPMC. Oh, MSC. Yep, that's it. gpedit.msc. It'll bring up your local group policy configuration screen, which is an MMC snap-in. Yeah. So gpedit is the way that you can modify the group policy for your local machine only. If you wanted to set the group policy for more than just your local machine, you would have to use the Group Policy Management Console for your domain controller, which you don't have. I'm not sure why you would have used it before, but okay. Unless you were just like dicking around on the internet. But yeah, group policies are a fun thing to learn about. There's tons and tons and tons of stuff you can do with them. And a properly configured group policy for your domain can cut down the number of like common desktop support tasks by probably like a factor of 5 in an average work environment. Yeah, between having control of the user and computer objects on a domain, and then also having full like group policy administrative access, I was able, between those two things, and then understanding basic Windows scripting and, well, not basic, I mean, I wouldn't say advanced, but like somewhere in between, moderate levels of understanding of Windows scripting, and then having access to an imaging server. I used to administer 800 users by myself as a part-time student. It's amazing the amount of automation you can have in a desktop environment when you have control over all of those things. And I did it for 4 years in college, and in a 20-hour work week, I was closing an average of 50 to 60 tickets a day. Because it would just be like, go into here, check this box, close the ticket. Go into here, check this box, close the ticket. Go into here, run the script, check, close this ticket. Just 4 hours a day. It's what originally got me into doing what would be referred to as desktop engineering. Is just how powerful when you're able to build all of those into like a holistic infrastructure like that. How powerful that is. How far you can go as a single person who just has control over all those things. It's just fascinating to me how much you can improve the situation of the IT department of a company if you have access to all of those things. It didn't really make me a cynical bastard. I was a cynical bastard for long before that. And in fact, if anything, it made me more optimistic for IT, because until I started really understanding how to set all these systems up to get them to talk to each other, to pull data from each other using scripting, and then to use that to essentially like intelligently communicate between each application to build like a comprehensive solution for an environment that sort of just took care of itself. Like, I was like, this is never getting any better. You know, these problems will never go away. These people will never learn anything. It's just going to be the same fucking, 5 problems every single day until I die. Nope. Because you can script. Any problem that exists with a computer, you can write a program that will fix it. You just need to have an access to all of the pieces of the puzzle. But yeah, I mean, I literally coded myself out of a job. At the university that I was working for, because like I said, I was taking care of 800 users as a 20-hour-a-week student. And so they were like, Um, hmm. Can we, like, look at the way that you have this set up? Because this seems like either you're lying or we need you to do this to other places. Isn't this where I came from? What do you mean VR? Oh, with the stupid end users? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, and it's not even not everyone's as smart as you. It's just that not everybody has the same like level of interest in the technology at work than you. So you can't expect everybody to want to learn how to do this stuff as well as you do it. And if they did, you wouldn't have a job. Yeah.
Barry?
Ow! The porch is covered with birds. They've got all Hitchcock on me.
Stay out of sight. I'm on my way. Don't open the door.
What am I, crazy?
Stay hidden. I'll be there soon. Just make sure you keep the lights on.
Do you remember that one story I told you about a vice president at the university I used to work for who kept getting antivirus or she kept getting malware on her computer and like eventually sends an email to the vice president in charge of IT and like essentially from me to the VP of IT and all of the managers along the line, so that like every single person, the person I reported to, the person they reported to, the person they reported to, and then the guy who was in charge of the Division of Information Technology for the university, CC'd all of them on an email. Yeah, the antivirus or the malware that she got is probably the one that has given me the most trouble, because as soon as it's on a computer, it doesn't do anything until you restart the computer. But when you restart, it makes it so that you pretty much just have to wipe the hard drive and start over. It's almost impossible to get that instance of the OS back to a working state.
I still had to reach Barry at the cabin, but at least I was out of the woods.
Which is why it was really frustrating for me that I had to remove it 3 times from her computer because she kept putting it back on. I, having worked at a university, I'm used to like I worked for the building that I took care of was the building that all of um, the like student offices, not like student,
I'd have to get the car from the locked garage. It would get me back to Barry faster. And
not
the
like
headlights were a
student
welcome
org
bonus.
offices, but like the student affairs, the financial aid, the registrar, the bursar, all those places. The university I was at, they kept all of them in one massive building.
I had to find the key to the garage.
And I maintained that building. So I was really used to, like, I have a lot of end users at my current job and at my previous job who both would be like, I'm really sorry, I'm probably the most annoying end user you're ever going to deal with. And I'm like, nope, nope, you don't understand. I used to work with, I never tell them this. I just say, no, you're fine, it's just my job. I'm used to it. Don't worry, I've had worse than you. The worst, the ones that have been worse than anybody I've dealt with in the business world have been like 70 to 80-year-old administrative assistants and things.
Change one thing and you set off a chain reaction of events that spreads through the whole thing. The characters have to be true to themselves. The events need to follow a logic that fits the story. A single flaw and the magic is gone. The story dies. Alice dies.
Fuck you, fuck you. Piece of shit. Yeah, I kind of saw it coming, like when the lights all kicked out and all the stalls were closed. I was like, well, something's probably going to happen, but I figured he would be further away. Oh, sweet, I got a warthog. Boosh. Haha! Broke your face. Don't mind me, just looking for coffee. Coffee. Oh, come on. There we go. Sorry, did you just throw a knife at my car? Catharsis! Are these guys never ending, or what? Seriously? Ugh. Come on. This is so bullshit. How am I supposed to get that box? Also, I don't actually think knifing a truck is going to do much to it. Just saying. Does the light cure my car too? Is this just an alternate way in, then, I guess? How the fuck did that happen to my car?
The flare gun was probably the best weapon I could imagine against the dark things I was facing.
Eat a dick.
It was the kidnapper. You son of a bitch! Where's my wife?
Enough horseplay, Wake. You deliver the manuscript, and you can have your woman back. Simple as that.
I don't... Listen. Listen. I'm gonna need time to finish it. I still need to write the ending. I need... a week.
It's not done.
I need a week.
2 days. The old Bright Falls coal mine is nearby. You can find it easy, city boy. The main building, there at noon. You bring the manuscript, you'll get your wife. If not, well, get me.
Yes, yes, I get you. Barry had talked about birds over the phone.
Ah, shit. Really? How many more birds are there going to be?
Hey, Al. I'm sorry for thinking you were having a psychotic episode, man.
I sent Barry to the town to ask around about a man fitting the kidnapper's description. He'd go through the archives of the local paper. Perhaps he could learn something. Anything about the island and the cabin that had disappeared. The man wanted a manuscript. I had to try to write him one to get Alice back. For me, the supernatural had always been nothing but a metaphor for the human psyche, a tool to use in writing fiction. Now, it was happening for real, and I couldn't put a single word on paper.
Barry Wheeler speaking.
This is Rose.
Rose?
I found Mr. Waite's pages.
Oh, you sweet, brilliant girl.
Could you and Mr. Waite come get them? I live in the trailer park outside the town.
We'll be there in less than an hour.
I know.
See you soon.
Have a great day. Hope you come back soon. Welcome to the old dear
diner.
Good girl.
Come here. Pretty please, can you tell me where I am? You, won't you say something? I need to get my bearings amongst, and the shadows keep on changing. And I'm haunted by the lives that I've loved and actions I have hated. I'm haunted by the lies that wove the web inside my haunted head.
Alright, I guess we move on to episode 3.